Well, Alaska is just such a big place, and not just geographically, but just personality wise. You know, I mean, it's I think it's 7 above right now, but it was 7 below when I drove home from my son's house last night after dinner, and it's supposed to get down to 16 below by this coming weekend. And that's down here near Anchorage. My friends up in Fairbanks are looking at 47 below. So and not just the temperature either. We have, pretty substantial earthquakes. Just a little over a month ago, my wife and I were sitting right here in this room. We have a mantle with it's got a flintlock rifle on it and some art, and then an old clock that my wife inherited from her mother, who inherited from her mother, and so the clock's from the 1800s, and the house started shaking. The house started shaking, and we didn't say a word to each other. We both just jumped up and ran over to the mantle, and she held a hold of the china hutch, and I held the clock, and we just kind of rode out the earthquake, knowing that that's what we were going to save. Because we have had earthquakes before when we were out of town. In fact, I was signing books at Quantico Marine Corps Base, and I got a call from a neighbor down the road and we had, actually our phones were blowing up when I turned my phone back on after the signing. We'd had a 7.1, I think, and it tipped didn't do any damage to the house, but it tipped everything out of our kitchen cabinets and knocked the clock off, luckily the clock landed in my recliner. So, we have earthquakes. We have, we have a saying up here. You'll see it on bumper stickers. It says, "Step out of the RV and into the food chain." And there's something about being in a place where the natural predators are so big. And I think, I used this in a book recently, that locations are often defined by their worst predators, and whether it's the mean streets of New York City and scary people, or American crocodiles or alligators in Florida, or grizzly bears up here, or mountain lions in North Idaho, or but Alaska just has a lot of stuff that can kill you, and so that makes it a pretty cool character.